Tough matchup of two good defensive teams. Talk about that a little bit.
I think we're two good offensive teams. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think SMU they're just a tough out. They're a really good basketball team. They get two things that stand out to you. They're really well coached, and they got very good players. What I mean by that is they play smart, they pass the ball, they're physical, and then they don't have a lot of players, but the players they have are all very good. They can score in a variety of ways. 5 guys in double figures a lot. So that all being said, they're the best rebounding team statistically I think I've ever played against. And in conference play, they're plus 20 on the glass. It's unheard of. 44-24 right now in their 4 conference games. They're out rebounding their opponents. So it's going to be obviously a point of emphasis for us to do a good job with our defensive rebounding. That's going to determine whether you have a chance to beat SMU. Because the way they're rebounding the ball right now, they're just breaking the back of their opponent. Because they get good offensive players, and if you stop them, they just grab it and lay it in. So it's a big problem.
How do you feel about how you rebound so far?
They were just okay. We're not a great I'd rather have this team than some of my teams that were great rebounding teams and couldn't throw it in the ocean from the beach. We do a good job of it, but I've said this since my first press conference. We have good players. We have a good team. If we'll rebound and play hard and get down and dirty and be physical, like the Bearcats always do, we got a chance to have a great year. I think that's the way to beat this team. I think that's how we lost to Rhode Island and Butler. We got pushed around and beat up in the second half of those games. And we got to make sure it doesn't happen Thursday night. And really, that's my speech to these guys all the time.
SMU, how much different, if at all, are they under this guy as opposed to Larry Brown?
Coach Jankovic, he's been around a long time now. They run a few different plays. They do some things differently. But it's probably because they're shorthanded, which they really only have a 6-man rotation. They remind me of my dad's Oak Hills teams. They'd win all the time, but they only play 6 guys. So I think maybe some of the adjustments are because they're shorthanded, maybe not just trying to change. They're still a high assist team. They're still a great defensive team. They really pass the ball to the open man. It's not a lot of difference.
You'd had a couple games where you got a lot out of your bench. Now the other night, just the way the game flowed.
Well, they played 41 minutes. They just didn't, but they only took 5 shots. So I think you guys have to ask questions. I think the danger of you pick one game and say, well, we need this guy's great because he had 20 points. Jaron Cumberland's arrived because he had 19 against Tulane. Slow down, it's one game. Every game is different, especially in college basketball, because of the way the game flows, foul trouble, the teams play different defenses. So we don't really, coaches, we don't look at it that way. I think our bench gave us a lot. I just don't look at the points. They gave us 41 minutes, and that's huge. I think that's important. Some games, they're going to give us great defense off the bench, which they all did. Some games, they're going to give us scoring off the bench. Could be shot blocking from Trey and Nasir. So there's just so many different areas they can help you. So you can't just judge bench production by getting a stat sheet and looking at bench scoring. I think that's far from the impact that they would have on that game or really any game.
Coach, Kyle, 9 rebounds the other night, really competed down around basket. I mean, is that turning the corner a little bit physically and toughness-wise?
Yeah, he's getting more comfortable to, like I said, being a starter, batting third in the lineup instead of being a pinch hitter. And how to play extended minutes, how to kind of dole out his energy throughout the game, and deal with the things that go on of where another team's trying to beat you up a little bit, or another team's trying to be physical with you. So it's just it's different for him. You know, he'll. As I said, you got to give him time. This whole year it's his first time being in a starring role in a major part of a top 25 team. So I'm not going to say he's arrived because of one game. I thought he did a good job the other night. SMU's much different. They're older, and they're bigger, and they're a dominant rebounding team. So it'll be his biggest challenge since the Butler game as far as dealing with a front line. Butler's got a great front line, and they're deep and they're big. So this is going to be a big game for him, and we're going to need him Thursday night, because you saw what happened at Butler when we really didn't have him.
How difficult is SMU to match it, to devise a game plan for, or try to figure out a way to stop?
Yeah, whenever you have a guy that can score in different ways, he posts up, he gets fouled, and he has a one-on-one game from the three-point line. I don't know what position you want to call him. I guess he's a forward. But Ben Moore is similar to him, so that's why they're so good, because they're interchangeable. They can play inside and out. They post Shake Milton a lot like we post Troy Copain. So I would say, I don't know if there's a transfer in America. He's averaging about 18 and 8. I don't know Kyle's averages, but Semi's a pretty good player now. He's really good. I don't know how he didn't play at his previous stop. That's how good he is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's. I mean, right now he'd probably win Player of the Year in the league. It's awfully early, but statistically, I guess.
They are playing the quote-unquote positionless basketball. Do you have any thoughts on that new trend, or is it just getting the five best guys on the floor and playing?
I don't. I know I'm not in the older realm of coaches, although I'm getting there in my 14th year. Not into trends, and I don't know what positionless means.
Point guard?
Yeah, I don't know. I know they're really good.
So, sounds like rebound is going to be a point of emphasis
Yeah,
for the
huge.
coaching staff. But are there any players, or what players do you point to specifically that are on the court that you can lean on that other guys to get that?
Well, what we need to do is as a team, we need to all become Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson relishes contact. He's our toughest guy, and he's by far our best box-out guy because he likes contact. We've all got to become Kevin Johnson when it comes to blocking out. So we show Kevin Johnson edits of the way he blocks out. Because this team, the thing about SMU is they rebound sometimes 4 guys, meaning one guy's shooting, the other 4 guys all go to the glass and nobody's back. You rarely see that in basketball. So I think sometimes your kids get in a habit, against us a lot, teams they run 2 and 3 guys back when they shoot. So we only have to deal with 1 or 2 guys rebounding at times. So it's a big change for this game. Obviously something we're trying to practice all week.
You talked about Kyle and getting him used to that limelight and taking that role. Is there some of that with Jacob maybe a little bit where you look at the end of the game and you see the numbers, but sometimes it seems like there's stretches where...
Well, we're not just because Jacob can score, we're a balanced team. So I don't want anybody out there running around taking every shot. For Jacob too, it's his first time starting all year, his first time being on top of the scouting report. And dealing with everything that goes with that. Like the other night at Houston, we have a couple things we run for him, and they were extremely well prepared and just denied him. And I said, well, welcome to the scouting report. Last year when we did that, they didn't know, they had no idea the play was even in our playbook. Where this year, you can tell they're preparing to defend him. So it's an adjustment for him. And that's where I've been on him. He's got to be more active without the ball, because it's going to be harder for him to get open, to get the ball where he wants to get it to be effective. And if he just relies upon when he gets the kick-out passes, he's just going to be a three-point shooter. You know, I challenge him to be more active with his cuts off the ball and posting up more. I would like him to post up more. So I want him to be a three-dimensional scorer, around the basket, free throw line, and three-point shooting. Sometimes he has a tendency to just play outside the line, which is what he did all year last year. But, you know, it's my job to coach him. So,
with the free throw shooting, what do you do about that?
You know, it is what it is. You know, I got confidence in those guys. They know I got confidence in them. The odds of Jacob and Troy missing 4 1-on-1s in the same game are about 10 million to 1. So it's not something. I don't worry about winning the Powerball. I'm not going to worry about that.